Hi children, welcome to our second lesson of history class. In the last class, we studied about the two maps made by an Arab cartographer and a French cartographer. Do you remember the names of the cartographers? Arab cartographer, who was he? He was Muhammad al-Idrisi, and he made his map, the world map he made in 11th century. And almost 600 years later, a French cartographer, what was his name? Guillaume de Lisle, and he made another map. These two maps were entirely different that we had seen in the test. Because by the time of Guillaume de Lisle, the information about the world was changed. Substantial changes were there. He got more information, more innovation, more excavations, and more expeditions were there. Due to all these things, he got more information, and using the information, he made a more accurate map that we had seen. That is what we were discussing. And the difference between the maps of Al-Idrisi and Guillaume de Lisle also we had seen. Now, actually our purpose of learning this lesson is to get ready for the detailed history of India that we are going to read in the following chapters. As the name suggests, we are going to explore the Indian history for the 1000 years starting from 700 to 1750. That means for almost 1000 years until the Britishers came to India, we are going to discuss what is happening in the Indian mainland. That is what we are going to discuss. Okay. And when we come to the actual history, we have to understand some particular things. We have seen the difference between two maps. And now here in this class, today's class, we are going to discuss the context of the usage of different terms. The same term we are using in different senses. It has different meaning. The term is same, but it has different meaning. For that, we will first take into consideration a particular term, that is Hindustan. Hindustan, as we know, it is a term we use to describe the Democratic Republic of India. All the territorial area of India is coming under this particular term, Hindustan. But you have to remember, once upon a time, this term, Hindustan, was not describing to what we are describing Hindustan today. For example, in the past, South India was not part of Hindustan. Why? Because as we can see in the map of India, the northern part, especially the areas that coming or that is falling in the banks of river Indus, only the areas around the river Indus was mentioned as Hindustan. The rest of India had different names. Here we had Magadha, then Telangana, then Karnataka, then in the south we had Chera, Chola, Pandya kingdoms. So these parts were not part of Hindustan. The term Hindustan originates from the name of the river Indus. In Sanskrit, we call this river Sindhu. Now it is flowing through Pakistan. Here you can very clearly see the river. When Persians and Greek came to India, they called this river Indos or Hindos according to their convenience. they were not able to pronounce the term Sindhu. So they called this river Indus or Indus. And for them, the people who were living on the banks of river Indus were Hindustan. The people of Hindustan. So they describe the people here. Now, after 7th century and by 11th century, there were many attacks from the Arabs. Arab Muslims attacked India from the west. First, some Muslim sultanates were established in India. Then the Mongol invaders came. During their period, we have to mainly remember three names who were describing India in their own convenience. Number one, we will talk about one, Minhaj-i-Siraj. Minhaj-i-Siraj. He was a Persian chronicler. What is a chronicler? Who is a chronicler? Chronicle. You may be remembering the term chronicle. What do you mean by chronicle? Chronicle is a factual description of historical events in the order of their occurrence. Some of you may be writing diaries. When we are writing diaries, how are you writing it? You are putting the date and the time even exactly. When we refer to it later, we can very clearly understand when it happened. We are following a calendar very strictly. So when we are writing the events in a historical order, we are calling it chronicle. And a person who is recording such events is a chronicler. So Minhaj-i-Siraj, he was a Persian chronicler, and he mentioned, we are going to see all these people in detail later, but just remember the name now. When he mentioned the term Hindustan, he meant it only the Sultanate of Delhi. The people, the king, the subjects and everything belong to Sultanate of Delhi. So it was not covering Eastern India, Southern India and any other part of India. Then we will see, and he was living in the 13th century. And in the 14th century we have another Sufi poet. His name was Amir Khusro. Amir Khusro. He was a Sufi saint, a Sufi musician. And when he mentioned Hindustan, he also meant little wider area of that. That also was part of the Delhi Sultanate. Then we have another emperor, that is Babur. Babur attacked India from the east. He was a Mongol invader, and he attacked and defeated India, and he captured power here, and he established Mughal Empire here. And when he came and captured power here, he also meant everything that belonged to his empire. He called it Hindustan. Everything, the king, the royal family, the subjects, the flora and fauna, and everything that belonged to his country, he meant by the term Hindustan. So here, now you think, what do we mean by Hindustan? Now, when we talk Hindustan, we very clearly understand it is the geographical area that describes the country of India. That is Hindustan now. But in the past, it was not like that. It was only the area that belonged to the both sides of River Indus or the people who lived here. Now we will just go into another term, foreigner. Who is a foreigner now? What do we mean by foreigner when we talk when we say this term foreigner, what do you mean by it? Anyone who is not Indian be called by foreigner. A Pakistani is a foreigner, a Bangladeshi is a foreigner, a Nepali is a foreigner for us. But in the past, the meaning of foreigner was quite different. For example, there that time the boundaries of any kingdom or a country was not clearly defined, and the knowledge of the people of other parts of the world was very limited. Knowledge about the people of other parts of the world were very limited. At that time, anyone who was beyond our knowledge was a foreigner. For example, in the past, say 11th or 12th century, we are living in Nalamai. If a person is coming from Chodanambeli or Vadakulam, he was a foreigner. Because here we have a very limited area, we have a local king or a local landlord, and we know only these people. Anyone beyond the boundaries of this area are foreigners. In the past, a foreigner was like that. So, historically, many terms, we are just describing only two terms. When we come to our actual lessons of history, we have to clearly understand the terms we are using now are very different in the past. The meanings are different, and the context in which we are using terms are different. So all these things are changing. So when we come to our actual lessons, we have to keep these things in your mind. Now we are winding up the class today. You just remember the three peoples mentioned here, who are the Minhaj Israj, who was he? He was a chronicler, and who was Amar Khusro, he was a Sufi saint, and who was Babur, he was the founder of Mughal Empire here. And I will give you some questions in writing, you can write it later. Thank you.